Welcome back to the Workbench, where uncut and unedited, you can watch a guy, me, try to make things. And we've got something new on the Workbench for this week. And as you can see, it's Wacky Races. So this is going to be something a little different, a little, I guess you could say a little more lighthearted, not as serious as the things we've been building previously, something a little more fun. I needed some fun. So I think what we're going to do is Wacky Races. I bought these quite a while back. I've got Penelope Pitstop's compact Pussycat, and I've got Dick Dastardly's Mean Machine. I picked these up, I think at Walmart, like probably a couple of years ago. I can't remember exactly, but I've had them. And just a quick aside, I got outruled when my daughter was born, but I actually wanted to name my daughter Penelope, and literally after Penelope Pitstop, not after Pepper from Iron Man, but after Penelope Pitstop. I got outruled, so my daughter's name is not Penelope, but I've always been a huge Wacky Races fan. So I think this will be a lot of fun. And what we're going to do, or the way we're going to do this, or what, kind of my plan is, I want to build these in a way, one, that the two cars are racing each other. We'll put Penelope out in the lead, I think. But I also wanted to make it as a diorama, or as a scene, literally a scene like if we had just yanked it out of the cartoon. So in other words, we're gonna do these models are like this kind of chrome looking stuff. It's kind of, in fact, let me open one up. We'll look at old Dick Dastardly's car here, his Mean Machine, and you can see the parts are like all this kind of chromed stuff. It was meant for kids. These are, obviously reproduction from old kits. They're a pullback. You can actually pull them back and let them go. But I think we're going to do them up just like they should be colored from the cartoon. So my plan is to build basically a flat piece and a back piece to a diorama, paint that like a background from the cartoon. So I think we'll hand paint it. The cartoon's backgrounds were hand painted, so we'll just hand paint them like that, and then have these cars sitting on them, which we're gonna do like they were just pulled off the old TV screen back in the day. And in fact, I printed this out. You can see where I was working on some color drops here, trying to make color matches or whatever. But this is kind of what I'm thinking. Now, this is computer animated. This is a picture I stole off the internet here. This is somebody had animated it, but this is the look I want to go for. So the point being is everything's going to be a flat color, and then we're going to add our highlights. We'll airbrush in our highlights, our darks, and make it look like, how do you say it? Like a 2D, it'll be a 2D and 3D. I don't know. Is that how you say it? But again, the point being is that it's going to look like it just came right off of the right out of the cartoon. Like we just grabbed a scene out, set it on our bench, and then so we have the painted background and what looks like the painted foreground. Actually, be foreground and midground, because we'll have one car up front, we'll have another car behind. So it'll probably be the compact Pussycat here. Then behind that we'll have old Dick back here in his Mean Machine, and then we'll have the painted background, and then there'll be a floor that it's all sitting on. That's also like a painted background. Hope that makes sense. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Now, as you can see, I've already started pulling the colors we're going to need. I wanted to make sure I have everything I need, all the colors, because there's going to be a lot of color involved. And we got, let me see if I can show you. Oh, here we go. So here we've got from the cartoon what the real colors for the compact Pussycat will be. And then this is the color. I like these colors for the Mean Machine. You can see here, I printed out all the different cars, but they had the little screw drill front end, whatever you call this, purple. I kind of like it better matching the fins up here. So I think that's the color scheme we're going to use here. And I've got all the colors I think we're going to need for old Penelope, or at least the compact Pussycat. I've got our purples and pinks and reds, a little bit of gray and our yellow. I think that's going to work for her. And then for Dick and Muttley, we've got these guys here, which is basically our kind of purples, blues. This color, which I think I'm using this desert. Yeah, I think, or is it this one? I can't remember which one I'm using. Yeah, no, it's desert. This is Muttley's color, this dead flesh. This will be the color for the fins and whatnot. So anyways, that's all the colors for the Mean Machine. Let me slide this out of the way. And then, of course, the two of them are going to share black and white. So we've also got are black and white that'll be used for both of them. So most of this, as we let's go ahead and pull the Mean Machine apart here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull all the parts out, and I think I'm gonna build these kind of both at the same time. But we'll just take a look at Dick's car first. I'm going to dump them in here. I want to keep the parts separate. You can see it's all very kind of, I guess you would say, very simple. I mean, it is. It's a very simple kind of snap together kit. So I think the most of this is going to be a practice in painting, which I'm kind of excited about. And when I say practice, I mean it's going to be me practicing in painting and trying to make it. I really want to get that look that it's from the cartoon. Obviously, this is all going to have to get primed. We can't. I don't think I want to paint straight onto this chrome. I've got some surface prep outside. I'll use that. I'll probably sand it and then prime it, I guess, as best I can. All these chrome pieces. I'll probably do the same with this. But the build itself is going to be very simple, and we'll do that together. So. I mean, I guess we could literally, let's see, where'd my colors go? So most of this, yeah, we could probably just go ahead and put like the body halves together. In fact, I could probably put the back end on it. Yeah, I think so. Now, there's going to be different colors involved. Like this is different color than this, but a lot of this we can go ahead and get glued together. In fact, why don't we do that while we're sitting here? We'll go ahead and get to work. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have to prep all this kind of chrome stuff, these plated pieces. I think I'll, like I said, I'll probably have to give it a little bit of a sanding and then a priming for sure. And then we'll go with our colors. And this is going to have all kinds of flashing, all kinds of stuff going on here. Let's see. How does this go together? I mean, I guess I can pull. Oh, did this break? Oh, wonderful. So it's already broken. That's okay. We'll glue it. We'll glue it all together, and I can clean that up. This is very brittle. This plastic. When I say brittle, it's very hard plastic. Let me pull the instructions out. Make sure I do this in the right order. It's literally like 3 steps. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3. I mean, total is 6 steps, but that includes doing some extra stuff. So yeah, we need to put. Oh, I see. We can't. So we have to put the axles in and stuff first. Yeah, it all pinches in between. So I will have to, I'm glad I didn't glue that up. So we will have to, we'll have to paint it separately. Yeah, I see. So this is going to these will get painted black, the fenders. Where are our 2 fenders? In fact, I think as usual, what I'll do is I'll do all the painting kind of stuff. Not anything, the solid painting. If we do anything interesting, we'll definitely do it together. But I'll do that in between episodes, and I'm going to do this build the same way. You know, I didn't even turn this light on. There, can we see a little better now? I think I'm going to do it the same way I was doing the other builds, where we're going to do this live. It'll start tomorrow probably, but we'll do these live uncut episodes together, which will be a little bit longer format, and then the next day in the morning, I'm going to release a short, which will be a close-up of what we actually worked on. When I say short, a YouTube short, which will be a close-up of what we actually worked on the previous day in the uncut, unedited episode. Let me go ahead and, while we're here, we can go ahead and start cleaning this stuff up. And I think getting it ready, I guess, for paint. So first thing I want to do, I want to make sure and get these nice and clean, because I want to make this look, I want it very clean and very smooth. I want everything to be very clean, like it's a painted cell. You know, if you think back to when they used to hand paint each cell for the cartoons, I want to make sure this looks like that. So it needs to be very smooth and clean. Let me reach across, everybody. I'm going to grab I have a whole tray full of sanding sticks, I guess you call them. So I want to just give a little cleanup. That's the wrong one. I wanted this guy here. This one has 3 different grits to it. So I kind of like it because I can use some different grits off the same stick. Yeah, but I want to make sure this is nice and clean. I want to get all the flashing, like there's flashing all here. I'll probably get this easier with the X-Acto. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I could zoom in a little bit, I guess. Something like that. Okay, yeah, just trying to get clean up all that flashing off of here. Sometimes I find it easier just to use the edge of the X-Acto knife like so. Kind of use it as a hand, almost using it like a hand plane. If you've ever done any woodworking. Like so. And then I'm going to come back with the sandpaper. I'm going to give this all a good sanding, the whole surface, because then I'm going to prime it and prep it. I think this this plastic's not as important, but this definitely is. Now this broken. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was already broken in the box. It might have been. It's very fragile. So let's get this glued back together if we can. I'm going to use some of our extra thin cement here. I'll probably let me get it glued together, and then I'll probably, once this glues up real well, I think I'm going to have to fill this crack because I want to smooth that out. Yeah. Well, if I can get it to hold in place. But yeah, I'll sand this, the crack itself. In fact, what I'll probably do, let me see if I can get it to glue up and I'll show you what I think I'm going to do for this. Because I definitely don't want that crack in the middle of this. It's going to look horrible. Yeah, did it break? It might have broke when I was getting it off the... I gotta have to be real careful with these. These pieces are... It's very hard. The plastic's very hard, so it makes it brittle. It doesn't have any give to it. But yeah, what I think I'll do for this is I'll actually, once this is glued up from the backside and it's nice and cured, what I usually will do, I'll take a nice sharp X-Acto and I'll kind of just carve in a little bit of a V or a valley there, and then I can take some filler. In fact, I have some down here I can show you. What I like to use, I always use, which this one's kind of sprung a leak, but I use dolphin glaze. It's this ultra fine finishing glaze. This stuff is really good for, it's auto body stuff. It's meant for finish work. So it's meant for pinholes and that kind of stuff in your filler work, which it works great on models. In my experience, at least, because it self floats. So you can really, it's very sandable and it comes out very clean. So it'll work perfect in this little crack here. But I'll do that off camera. So let me let that one glue up. And then we've got the bottom. So it looks like what happens is everything. So the axles and the fenders, I'm not sure which fender goes which side. Yeah, the fenders go in here. So all this has to go in before we can put the top on. I'd rather paint the whole body all together, but which means the only thing what that means, which I hate, is so when this goes together, we're going to have a seam. Is the problem? You know, I can't fill the seam that runs all the way through. But I don't want to. It's going to be hard to completely put this all together and then try to paint everything separately. So I think we'll deal with the seam. I think so. So I'll paint these. Yeah, I'll paint it separately, and then we'll just have this kind of a seam that runs through here. I don't guess there's much we can do about it. If you guys know, is there a way to deal with that I'm not thinking of, as far as, I mean, other than just putting the axles in and then the fenders in, gluing it all together. But these fenders are black. Obviously, the body of the car is like the purple color, or it's kind of a blue, purple, whatever. And then this front part is a lighter purple. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how. I hate to have the seam in it. That's gonna not look good. Let me get rid of some of this flashing stuff while we sit here. Yeah, if you have an idea of how to deal with that, let me know. I'm all ears for sure. This chrome stuff has flashing. It's pretty bad. It's all over. So it's going to take some time to definitely get this all cleaned up. Look at all this. I don't know if you can see all this is flashing here. I have to go through all of this. like so. And I don't want to, yeah, I want to give all this a sanding, but I don't want to lose these little rivets. I actually want to try to paint those silver if I can. I was noticing them in this illustration, you have these rivets that are silver. I like how that looks. So I don't want to lose those. I'm going to have to be careful with that. This is very bad up front here. See if we can get this a little bit cleaned up. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to have is a whole bunch of cleanup here before we get together next time. Yeah, so what do I want to do? I think I'm going to go ahead and clean up all the parts, and then I'm going to go ahead and start painting. I think I'll definitely paint everything that goes together with the mass of the body. How does the back end go on this one? That goes in afterwards, right? Yeah, we drop, it goes on. So a lot of stuff goes on at the end. So like the what you call it, the cabin. So what I think I'm going to get done is this section right here, which would actually be, well, I'm just going to get step 2 finished up, or not finished up, but prepped up for tomorrow. We'll come together and put it together. I might even go ahead and prep for step 3 down here, the back kind of, I guess it's the jet engines or whatever. Go ahead and get that prepped up also, so we can try to get as much done as we can, because the fun in this, I think, is going to be the painting. And we'll do that together. Well, the detail painting. But anyways, let me get this cleaned up. Let me know if this is a build that you're kind of interested in. Let me actually do this in frame also. Let me know down in the comment section, is this something you're actually interested in? I thought it'd be a lot of fun. It's something just a little different. There are a couple group builds that I want to take part in. So I do want to kind of finish this somewhat quickly, so that I can kind of get involved with some of these group builds. I've never done that. I kind of want to tip my toes in the old group build pool, as I guess you would say. If there's any good group builds out there that you guys know about too, that I should take part in, let me know. I'd love to do it. But anyways, let me get this stuff all prepped up. I'll get it painted, and then tomorrow we'll start. Oh, you know what I should do? I should do some of Penelope's car too. You know, I think what I'll do is probably step 1 and 2 on both cars. So then, or no, I take that back. Actually, what was it? Step 2. I'll do step 2 for both cars, and then that'll give us more to work with tomorrow to start putting together. So let me get both. I forget that we're working on 2 cars. Let me get both cars step 2 prepped. When I mean prepped is painted, and then tomorrow we'll start assembling and we'll go from there. But thanks for joining me today. Let me know what you think so far. Let me know down in the comments. I'll get this all ready before tomorrow. Hit that like button if you would, please. It really does help. It's free. It's free to hit the like button. It's free to subscribe. You can always unsubscribe later. That's free also. So if you want to maybe keep up with this build, hit that subscribe button. I don't know. Do all those things you do on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.